obviously, I didn't think my body could do what it does. I've had people come and cry after class, just feeling like a complete different person. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. It icked me out. I knew that that's where I was supposed to be.
Welcome again, my amazing people, to I Got an Accent, So What? This is episode number 11. And like I always say, I always bring all this beauty to the show. And today I have the one and only Jossie. Jossie, you're not Salamet. I know. Because she's the twin sister of my executive director. She's have a lot of resume. The one that, she's the double stunt sister for all our videos and all that. But having said that, thank you and welcome for coming. I wanted to bring a different perspective, a different, thematic of the show, of a subject that I know it's important to the community, which it has to do with, right now, you're an amazing owner of a pole dancing studio here in Orlando, Florida.
Yes.
Can you tell me the name of it? How did that started? And bring me on in that journey.
Sure. Thank you for having me, Gia. So I'm the co-owner of Flow Space Orlando. It's in downtown Orlando. We are open a year and a half now. We opened in March 2021. We had a studio there before. It was called Lotus Fitness Studio, and then we had to close because of COVID. Yes. And so we rebranded, and now it's Flow Space Orlando. And my business partner, who's amazing, brought me on board as co-owner.
Yes.
Very grateful for that. So here we are. So I've been in the industry probably around 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
Wow, 8 years. And I know you started as working there also, started your career in pole dancing. Basically, it's a career, guys. You should follow this woman. She has a pole dancing TikTok account that it makes my day. Like, she makes all this video that really, you bring so much joy to us because you're like, oh, I can do this. And you bring so much confidence, especially to us women. But how this started, it was my birthday not that long ago, and my team's over here is like, Gia, let's take you to the studios and blah, blah, blah with Jossie. And I'm like, sure, why not? So I brought with me several of my girls, and, we had our little champagne. We had, I was looking forward because I think we all got into character. We got all our shoes, our special shoes, which none of that was worn because it's more difficult than you think.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very difficult. And you were so amazing giving us hope because Jossie's like, listen, it's something that you have to walk up to it because you see it so easily. There's women on this pole dancing and then when you get up there, you're like, oh, shoot, I cannot hold myself for my dear life.
Your body doesn't know what to do at first.
How, I want to know, first of all, you started that, how you end up not even, okay, I want to pursue this career. This is something fun for me. And then to the point that you even, financially invested in something that if I imagine you invested in financially, it's because something that you believe. So tell me, how was that journey for you to say, I want to be, more involved into this to right now? I mean, I've seen your confidence. It's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. I took my first pole dancing class in 2011.
Okay.
I worked part-time. I had 2 little kids. I was in a depressive mode. I was looking for, I went to the YMCA and worked out, but nothing, it wasn't fun. So it was easy for me not to get motivated. And my friends found a Groupon. And we went to an open house. I think it was called Vixen. It's by Universal. And this is 2011. So this is what, 11 years ago?
Yes. I had a membership there too, by the way.
Really?
Vixen. Yes.
So we went. And I liked it. It was fun. Yeah, I didn't think anything of it. Didn't think too much into it. One of my really, really good friends actually pursued it. So she got a membership. She joined. And then shortly after that, a couple of my other friends went. So they all went together.
Wow.
And I had little kids. I worked part-time. And so I didn't really get into it too much. They did. And every once in a while, I would go to classes with them. But they took it they got good really fast. And it was so much fun. So I dibble-dabbled here and there, but I wasn't very confident doing the sexy part of it. So I was more of, I want to get stronger, and I want to be able to do a chopper, I want to be able to do the tricks. And I wasn't getting strong fast enough because, you have to be consistent with it, right? Yep. Well, they ended up having a business with it, and we ended up going to fundraisers. Me and my sister, we would support them in that way. And it wasn't probably till like 2013 that I started going to classes consistently, and that's where I met another friend who was a personal trainer, and me and my sister used to go train all the time. And my sister actually used to train with my now business partner. And that's how we met her. And she had her original studio in Hunters Creek. So we'd go and take classes there. Long story short, probably too late for that. Long story short, she posted a job opening in 2015 for a part-time evening front desk. And I was a temp, and I was going back and forth. You know, I had many jobs. Many jobs. My husband will tell you, many jobs up to then.
You were not happy, obviously.
No, I wasn't happy. And so I took the part-time. It was great with the kids in the morning and taking them to school. And then I went part-time. It was a little bit of a drive because I live in Lake Nonads in downtown. Anyway, like within 2 weeks I was there. I was like, this is like the best place ever. Just the energy, the women, just the encouragement and support. Like that's what drew me in at first, because the community, it is such a different space. And I got to listen to music, and I got to see people, you know, dance around and have fun. And I was like, oh, this is my job. This is pretty cool. I was in there maybe a year and a half, 2 years. She asked me to be studio manager, and I got more responsibility, and I pretty much ran the front desk. And we got a couple girls under me, so I got the experience like that. And then I always thought, I was like, man, this would be so cool to have my own. I love this, you know? And yeah, no, I stayed studio manager forever, and then COVID happened, and that's how we ended up closing. But I knew that that's where I was supposed to be.
Yeah.
The friends that I gained from there that I still have till this day, the confidence that I have now in myself as a business owner, as a woman, you know, I don't look at myself anymore as just a wife and a mother. I have a purpose.
Yes.
I'm going to have some tequila because I get emotional. It's too early for that.
She said she didn't want to be a wife and a mother. I mean, you need to elaborate on that.
I mean, I didn't want to just only, let me rephrase. I didn't want to just be, I felt like that was my only
calling
purpose.
Yeah.
My husband's very successful. He's always been very successful. And I love being at home with my kids. And
of course.
You know, at one point I did enjoy cooking and cleaning and doing all of those things, but I never felt fulfilled. You know what I mean? And just finding, obviously I didn't think my body could do what it does. That's another whole side of this whole journey. Is because you're working out, but you start doing things that you didn't think you could ever possibly do at this age. I'm 44 years old. When I started pole, I was 32, 33 years old.
Wow.
So that was another thing, like just even discovering that, the physical aspect of it was very empowering, you gain so much confidence in yourself, and you start viewing yourself completely different. So I found a purpose in that, and not only in myself, but we would have students come in with like confidence on the floor. We have some students come in bad relationships and domestic violence. They just broke up with their boyfriend because their boyfriends are controlling and jealous, and you're never going to amount to anything. Just made them feel like complete shit. Excuse my language.
Crap. Yeah.
And they come in there and they're like, I just want to try and find, you know, something for me. And then they're there a few weeks, and then you can see the transformation. I've had people come and cry after class, just feeling like a complete different person. Wow. So just that alone, I was like, this is why I'm here. You know what I mean? So
you find purpose.
I did.
You find purpose, and that's something that I mention on the show a lot. That does not matter what you decide in life to do, but finding that purpose and something that fulfill you. You said it, have a really good relationship, very amazing supporting husband, but knew that there was something more to you than being a mother, you know, to being just a wife. Because we understand our kids are going to leave our side. If you guys don't know, for those women out there in the confident part, that's also I want you to touch on, that we become, and that's the reason, you just remind me, that's the true reason I wanted to bring this topic. And actually, me and my producer talk about this all the time. And it's a very gray area because we always say that a lot of women focus so much on being perfect moms and wife, which awesome. We're going to be partners for the rest of the life. We hope, right? With this relationship that we on, I think everybody that gets married, that's the number one goal until things happen in our life. But they get so focused on being perfect mom, and we understand that our children are temporarily. And when they're 18, you see their kids leaving and their husband leaving as well. Because we devoted to something what society say, but then you lack and you release that part of growing in our confidence as women. As you said, we get older. Now I want you to elaborate on what you said. I didn't know that when I was 32, younger, and now that I'm 44, my body's it's able to do things differently. Explain to me on that, especially those women that are listening out there that sometimes are like, I'm just too old. I have 5, 7 kids. My body is changed completely, and you feel like your life is done or wasted, you know?
When I first started, I was trying to be a healthier, right? A healthier version of myself for many different reasons, but mainly because my kids were so little. I needed to keep up with them. You know, I did Zumba and I did boot camp and things like that. But pole dancing is a completely different type of exercise. Not only coordination, but you build your strength. And at first, it's a little daunting. It could be very intimidating, your first couple classes. So you have to keep going. Your body, you have muscle memory, believe it or not. I didn't believe it. People would tell me, oh, you'll have muscle memory, you'll remember. I'm like, I don't know about this. And the more consistent you are, your body gets stronger.
Yes.
But the thing that it's remarkable that I think is like, I don't even remotely work out like I did before now.
Yeah.
But I still can climb the pole and I can still do my little balance. I'm still like, I would call myself a beginner. And if you're in the industry or if you're in the classes, you understand because we have all the way up to level 6, 7.
Wow.
I still say I'm pole 1 because I don't really climb. I don't really do the tricks. That's a whole complete different beast there. But just the things that I can still do, I'm very amazed. And not even me keeping up with, I don't go to the gym regularly. I don't have, I don't lift weights or anything. That's my workout. I mean, cardio by itself, it's just, you won't believe how many calories you burn just with one intro class. I mean, you guys, when we were doing your party, we were all out of breath and we were
I was trying to let you say all that.
Yeah.
Guys, it's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard as hell. I mean, it's hard to the point that, yes, I've had multiple trainers. I currently go to Orange Theory. I've done, you name it. Personal trainer, no trainer, Orange Theory, everything. I've done it because to me, what you said, health, even though you see my body like full figure Latina, because that's how I consider myself. So I don't. The way I say that is because I don't want to put in one classification. And we know that we're voluptuous and we're not our normal skinny, all of them. So I first of all, I had to understand what's my body type. And I do the exercise, obviously, for that, gain strength, growing, and making myself know that I'm each day doing something for my healthier lifestyle. So I thought, this pole dancing got nothing on me.
I remember Jackie told me, oh, Gia sent me this this is what she wants to learn. It was like an upside down thing. I'm like,
yeah. So when I used to do Vixen, when I never did pole dancing, we did more like the silk, and I did more like the, sexy dancing thing, which it's another way of, growing mentally. When I went there, I was like, even Jackie, she was like, foo, foo, foo. My producer that have never done this woman even did like around. And I could barely put my little arm to hold my dear life, my dear booty, like for dear life. And obviously I blame my booty for that, but it's hard as heck.
I remember you telling me, Jossie, me dijiste embuste.
I know, it was because the first thing that I have is I sweat my hand. So I sweat like a lot. So it does not matter how much cream, how much, powder baby thing she put in my hand. I could not hold out for dear life. But the beautiful thing though, and the what I like about it was the kind of the intro, what the, the trainer did with us. And it was for us to be comfortable in our own skin, for us to dance and have the movement that even though in that room we were all girls, I felt, you feel like, ooh, but I'm not supposed to do this in front of anybody else. And that's what it was engraved into our mind. And I since we're little girls, you're not supposed to do that. That's just your privacy. And oftentimes pole dancing it's even considered, or even people put the wrong label, which today's day we can say it's actually soon to be an Olympic. Yeah. It's sport. It's a sport. It's not only stripper sending money, guys. Yeah. But the beautiful thing about the sport is the confidence that you build. And you say, and you even said it, it's a confidence that you build not only in your strength, but I see more the strength within yourself.
Absolutely.
Because you have to look at yourself. And I know a lot of us women, it takes time to look at ourselves move certain ways, right? Yes. We feel like, ooh, maybe I should only do this with my partner. But when you understand to be sexy just for yourself, regardless who's watching, the impact that create in your mind, it breaks so much, paradigms. Is that a right word, guys? Help me here. Jackie's laughing over there. Mentality, okay? Yeah. Things that society think that we're not supposed to be okay, because if you're a mom and you have your husband, you're not supposed to be moving over there. But at the contrary, the more confident we are, which I've seen you, and I want to talk about that. Your beautiful daughter, she is in theater, right? And I used to talk to Jackie. This girl used to be very shy. Well, this girl does this theater. And believe it or not, I think it has to do because she's seen a confident mom break out of her shell and being sexy and being confident for yourself first. And we don't know how that impacts the people around us.
Funny you say that, because I actually had this conversation with my daughter, but I told her the complete opposite. When I saw her on stage, that she gave me the confidence to perform for the first time. And I always told her that.
Wow.
I said, because Mamita, I saw you. I don't want to get emotional
okay.
again. I told her, I said, because I saw you. And she turned into a completely different person on stage. I performed, and, it was the greatest feeling ever, but it was because of her. The funny thing is that I didn't even take a sexy choreo class, because that's what it is, right? Pole has different levels, and at first you're just going to learn your basics, and then you can go either one way. You could do both. You could do the sexy side. You could do the strong Olympic compete side. A lot of people just go like this, and they pick.
You didn't tell me I had that option.
Yeah. There's an option, and there's very few that combine it and do both. I didn't take my very first sexy choreo class for 2 whole years while I was working there.
Wow.
2 years. I always just did the strength building classes, the conditioning, and I wanted to do tricks and things like that. But because, I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. It icked me out. I couldn't do it. And I have to say I have the best partner ever. She's my role model. She's the one that has grabbed everything out of me and
beautiful.
And told me, let's go. She would tell me, look at yourself in the mirror. Make eye contact with yourself. I don't want to make eye contact with myself. It's weird, and I feel weird. I don't want to. And then, I would start with little shorts and things like that. She bought me my first pleaser shoes for Christmas one year.
Wow.
I didn't even have shoes. But once you get out of your head, because that's what we do, we're in our head, because it is weird looking at yourself in the mirror.
Yes.
I mean, it's not you're just doing your makeup, your hair. You're looking at yourself and you're moving your body. You're feeling different. You're awakening what you have inside, which we all do.
Yes.
But a lot of people suppress it. They don't feel comfortable. It just, once you accept it, and like you said, it's okay for me to express myself like this, and you feel it. I don't want to call pole. I always hashtag some of my videos pole therapy. It's not therapy. Don't go to pole class thinking it's going to solve all your problems.
I do think it's a therapy.
It's therapeutic. I like to say it's therapeutic, right? It's a form of therapy. Music in itself is healing. Yes. I've always been that person that music has taken me out of all kinds of things, right? Out of the darkness. You combine that with dance and self-expression, moving how you want to move. We have a lot of classes that call find your freestyle. So basically, we turn off the lights, we play a song, and they say just dance. And you forget about everybody in there, and you just dance, and you won't believe what people come out of there crying because it just comes out.
It's
you know,
therapy.
it heals. It truly, truly does heal. Dance, any form of expression, creative outlet, it really does heal you, in my opinion. Like it has healed me a lot. I'm a completely different person. But it wasn't until I was able to get out of my head to accept it that I could embrace it. And I took a class. I said, I forget what it was called, but I think it was called Sexify. It was a workshop. And they talked about the 7 goddesses that you have, all the women have inside. And then they did all kinds of exercises to find them and things like that. Pole has such different... There's some classes, and a lot of my coworkers, a lot of my business partner, they have different classes to help you find your inner, I don't want to say diva, but your goddess, your femininity, your inner
Yourself.
your divine feminine power, whatever
Your
they call it.
sexiness.
Yes, yes. And most of them are in their 40s. Most of them are mothers, wives. I have chiropractors, I have nurses, I have doctors, lawyers, just you name it, they have come to take class.
Wow.
Teachers. I have a lot of teachers in my studio that, we have to say, hey, it's time to record. They leave the room because obviously they can't record and they can't be put on our socials, for reasons.
Of course.
But they're there. They're there that's their time to heal themselves or, express themselves or for, to relieve stress because that's also...
What would you say is that age exactly? Because you're telling me within, 40s, you see all these women trying to find themselves. What would you say is that key? Is it that you're saying that they're trying to find that they're oppressed for so long? Tune in tomorrow for the second part of this amazing interview with my amazing friend Jossie in the pole dancing career and her challenges in this story. Don't forget to also rate, subscribe, comment, and love on all the platforms for our podcast and as well as YouTube. See you next time.